your dreams. New York, big city of dreams.
What's going on? This is Jay Ellis from the Nick of Time Show. Here to give you that Knicks talk just in the nick of time. And it's time to talk about a Knicks win. The Knicks beat the 76ers 105-91. And guess what? Another big game by OG Anunoby. He gave you 27 points, 2 steals on the night. Also with a career high 13 free throws attempted aggressively. We like it. We like all that. Mikal Bridges gave you 14 points and 4 assists after having a crazy first half, going 1 for 11. Mitchell Robinson. Happy birthday, Mitchell Robinson. It is not April Fool's Day. He did have 14 points and 14 rebounds, and he did not miss a free throw. So it's not April Fool's. It is real, all right? Happy birthday, Mitch. DeLon Wright even chipped in with 12 points and 3 steals. And Shamet, man. Shamet came here and had his best game of the Knicks season. After not playing much after the season, he finishes the game with 20 points. And 6 of 11 from 3. Yes, we like that. We like putting up 11 3-pointers on a night. The Knicks won the rebounding battle 56-50. We didn't really get past the rock we usually do. We had 23 assists, but we did what we did with the turnovers, right? We forced them to turn the ball over. We scored off the turnovers. That's what the team has been doing all season. That's what we did today. And I think we have 26 points off the turnovers, and the Knicks win. We're going to talk about it all. Good, the bad, and the ugly. Not much ugly today. Let's start this off, man. Let's start it off with introducing my guy, the Latin assassin, ESPN contributor, posting and toasting contributor, Lee Escobedo. What's good, Lee?
Landry Shamet, let's go!
Let's go! Start Landry Shamet! Max Landry Shamet!
Listen, man, this is a Shamet I've been waiting all damn season for. Man, he took forever. That Washington rust is serious, Ebony. We've been talking about you got to watch out when you know how to get those guys on those poverty teams. It takes a while to get back to winning basketball, and Shamet got back to it just in the nick of time.
I see what you did there. Yeah, it took him a while to wash off that booty juice before he started shooting with the Knicks.
Yep.
Shout out to Sham wild the booty juice off him. All right. Next up, we got our XD1 baller, Ebony, in the building. What's going on, Ebony?
I'm good. Y'all know I couldn't miss this.
Oh, yeah.
Y'all know I couldn't miss this.
Oh, yeah.
My guy Mitch. Shamet coming through too. Just OG. I can't wait to break this game down. But yeah, happy birthday to my guy Mitch. What a performance on your day. Stop playing with my guy.
Yeah. He said, yeah, Mitch was like, I may be English, but I'm gonna hit you with that Euro step today.
little subtle one.
Okay, Mitch. Euro step with the fast break. I see you. Oh man, shout out to you guys. I'm glad to see you. Shout out to my YouTube peoples. Fritz Altinder picks for Timmy, Felicia. We surveyed 100 people. Fritz Alessinder holding it down. Everybody else rocking the KOT show. That's right. Fifth is Fritz, the fifth Beatle of the show. Shout out to everybody in TikTok land as well. Let's get to it. All right. We didn't have Cat today. You already know we don't have Jalen Brunson today. We already know we didn't have Campaign. We already know that we don't have Deuce McBride. So for us to win these games, we need production other places. Since Jalen Brunson went down, I feel like we've been hovering around 500 for a while, but now we're starting to get a few games over 500. So what's that telling you? That's telling you, one, we're able to do what we have to do against these lesser teams. Two, we're kind of finding a formula that works on both sides of the floor on how to play without Jalen Brunson, which is going to bode well for us in the future when Jalen Brunson comes back. And what I've seen from this squad, and I think both of you guys see the same thing, is the emergence of Wingstop and the dominance of OG Anunoby. He once again had a 27-point game. He had 6 straight points when he's giving you 20 plus points in those games. Also, he's been super efficient from the field goal line. He's been super efficient from the 3-point line. I think he's been averaging 28 points a game in the last 6. And he's having a block and a steal in those games as well. And he's just been dominant. And it's like he just woke up one day, was like, wait a minute, I do more push-ups than everybody in this room. I'm stronger. I'm more athletic. I'm a beast. When I go to the hole, they bounce off of me like rubber, and I'm gonna be able to dunk on anybody's head when I feel like it. And that's what he did today. There was 3 people on this dude one play, and it didn't matter. And won. OG Anunoby's new level has been unlocked. He left Toronto because he wanted more touches, allegedly. Got here, didn't get the touches, but as soon as he got the opportunity, he seized it. And I'm loving what I'm seeing from OG Anunoby, because he's just proven that he believes he's just proven that he's just proven that he can do what he thought he can do the whole time, which is be dominant and be an offensive threat. So shout out to OG Anunoby. Performance so far. Yeah.
Who's up first?
Yes. Now, facts. OG, that dunk, it got a reaction out of me. It shows you his level of confidence, and I'm gonna keep saying that word because that's what we need. I'm cool with a 2 ABCD. I'm cool with that. I'm cool with teams not knowing who's the number 2 option or who's the number 3 option. It's the unpredictable nature that we've been asking, not to be so predictable. We've been asking for because it looked like teams knew exactly what we were always going to do. It doesn't look like that so much. You really can't call it. You don't know. OG, like you mentioned, OG playing, using his strength, realizing he's a very strong person. He's still stumbling, but at least he's stumbling to the bucket. He's stumbling right to the bucket.
That's a fact.
And using his strength to do it. We talk again unpredictable. Shamet, 6 of 11 from the 3-pointer, 20 points off the bench. OG looking very Kawhi-like, I believe. Coming into his own. Mitch double gives you a double. Just even when other people that you expect to have good games don't, it's just the unpredictable nature of somebody else coming through for the team. And that's what I love so far about this run that we having. And I'm excited to see what we look like, continuing to look like when Jalen Brunson comes back. Especially OG, because again, I'm cool with the 2 ABC, because the way OG is playing is like, okay, you have to nurture this. You have to see this for what it is. Does this continue? How does this look next to Jalen Brunson? You have to, because it's just been so good.
That was an excellent monologue. Hard to follow that one up because Ebony took a lot of my points that I was going to make as well. First off, so happy to be here. I know sometimes we talked about like all of KOT is going through it. There was a period where all of us were dealing with some tough situations. I mean, we're still dealing with some tough situations. My life particularly has been beautiful lately, and I just want to embrace that. Part of that is how much joy I've been getting out of being on the show. I absolutely love hopping on this podcast, whether it's an L or a W, and saying what I got to say and commiserating with y'all. And thank you, Jay, for the opportunity to host the last episode. Hope I did you justice. It was a lot easier having Ebony here with me to do a 2-man game, 2-woman game. Pause and go back and forth. I thought our chemistry was pretty damn good. It was kind of like JB and Cat out there. I'm gonna go ahead and say it. I didn't have to be too full of myself, but I thought we did a great job. All right, to the game. OG Anunoby worth every penny. You really are starting to see just how good this front office and coaching staff is on scouting. They're able to see someone in a certain role. You could point to iHeart in this situation. You could point to Brunson in this situation. Bridges, OG probably took the longest for him to fully embrace what he could be playing in this offense under Tom Thibodeau, which is very free. Tibbs gives players, if they're hot, he gives them the opportunity to keep going, take as many shots as they want to. Not just that game, but let it carry over into the Nets. OG's been on a heater. This was not an anomaly. This has been a part of since JB went down. OG has really put the offense on his back, and the rest of the team seems to be totally cool with it. Bridges has learned to also have a good scoring outputs with him. Cat seems to be okay when he's playing to take the bat seat as a third option, give you 14 and 14. Like, that's amazing. And the great thing about OG going off, the other guys around him, they're eating because of the funnel that he's creating with the defense, trying to do their best to put a wall up. But his strength and athleticism, improved handle, improved gather, improved use of his physicality at the rat basket has really made him. He could be a candidate for most improved, in my opinion. This is as much of an emergence as Jalen Johnson in Atlanta this year. OG's put the whole game together while causing major havoc in the pick and roll, major havoc, blowing up dribble handoffs, blowing up the three-point opportunities in the corners. I love his ability to recover. Love the leadership that he's showing. It's a quiet exuding of confidence. He just goes out there and manhandles people. No, there's no shimmy, no memeing. It's just all business. And Ebony said it best, and we talked about this last podcast. That is our best advantage going to the playoffs, is you don't know who to steam for as that second high usage option. It could be Cat, it could be Bridges, it could be OG. And Tibbs is starting to show that he's okay being freestyle and let different guys go off on different nights based on the mismatches. There is so many positives talked about in this game as a microcosm for the last 15 games, and I can't wait to get into everything.
Yeah. It's been agendaless basketball. Like, Mikal Bridges had 16 shots. OG had 16 shots. OG just made his shots.
Right.
You mute him, Ebony. You mute him.
You know I do that time. Precious had 11 shots.
Should have had.
Like but what I'm saying is people they confident. And Precious, please, the right hand. You right-handed, baby. You the right hand.
Oof.
He's been practicing it, but I guess he needs more practice because he was shooting left-handed.
Oh,
Stop that left hand ain't going for you right now. Just you right-handed. I get you trying to catch defenses off guard, but you shooting is catching them off guard enough to just
catching the Knicks off guard.
Yeah, rim off guard.
But before I get into the pressure, I just want to add on about OG. Another thing is the free throws.
Yep.
We shot 26 free throws today. We're getting to the free throw line. We're being aggressive. I know that was a worry for some about the easy points and how JB gets to the line and we won't be able to replicate. But doing it as a unit, you get some free throws. You get some free throws. You get some free throws. And you get 26. So again, I know we played Philly, but working on things that have been a problem for you during these games, working on the team you want to be in this playoffs. That's what we're trying to do during these games, and I'm loving what I see. I think, OG had 13 by himself.
Career high, 13.
11 for 13.
Career high, 13. And he hit, 27 straight free throws? And then he missed 2 today. But 27 straight free throws. He's, man. Like, you knew he was strong when he got here. But it's like he just never knew how to use his strength. And now he just figured out how to use his strength at the exact right time. And it's benefiting us right now. And, like, I'm loving the way how he just like, Jalen Brunson is not here. So I'm just stealing his little rip-through move every time I go to the hole and I'm getting fouled with it. It's one of those things when you playing with great players, sometimes you pick up little things. And I'm glad he's just picking up that part of JB's game and listening to the coaching staff and having the output he has. Great game.
Yep. Speaking of free throws, shout out. I seen JT Riddick say it, and I think Timmy also said it about Mitch and his free throws.
Mm-hmm.
Looking good at the free throw line. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You don't want to be taken out at the end of games. I mean, since you mentioned Mitchell Robinson, and since Ebony is, Ebony, what you think of Mitch's game today? Like, what you thinking?
I'm thinking that Mitch is being Mitch and showing you his growth. I'm not surprised. I just think he's getting an opportunity, and with a team that complements him and other defenders around him, and a team that's willing to pass. You see what it looks like when he has the opportunity to get you the ball. Period. Just you see. I think this period, you see what happens when everybody thinks they can get the ball when they're open. The cuts are harder. You see people the picks everything, but with Mitch, it's just so many. Again, I'm gonna call it like I did last game. He's the onion. There's so many things that don't really show up on the stat sheet with him that he does, but then the stuff that he does, like the rebound and the stealing, the whatever, But the screens he sets though, guys, I need y'all to look at those screens because a
Obliterate
lot of times,
you.
huh?
Obliterate you.
Yes, he gives our players some of the easiest shot attempts they get all game, and sometimes they might not even take a shot, but just the make the defense believe they are and start the ball movement. It works too, but that won't show up on the box score. You won't see that. You don't see the amount of times people put hesitation and say, "Oh, that's Mitch there. Let me go back." You don't see the amount of pick and rolls that he blows up by himself. Just
I saw it.
stop it. But ball. You can say you watch for that. A lot of people. I'm not even gonna say that they don't know ball. A lot of people just don't watch on the defensive end. Maybe that they don't realize the importance of it or whatever the
Yeah.
case may be. But they miss a lot of things on that end, and that's where Mitch does. And then on offense, even on offense, like I mentioned, the screening, the diving, he's forever moving. That's why that dunker spot comment will get me so it will make me hot because he does not just stand there. We don't have a lazy big. He always trying to make a difference on both ends, trying to help the team. An ultimate team player. And I'm just glad he's able to show a little bit of his offensive bag. That Euro I was loving, put a big smile on my face. Just looking like Mitch, the
Mhm.
rookie Mitch, but with the veteran Mitch mad mindset. Is a dangerous man. I
Good.
can and I know in the playoffs, Lord, whew, I can see it. I feel it. The difference he's gonna make for this team.
I think there's no coincidence that Shamet's improved shooting and confidence has aligned with the return of Mitchell Robinson, who's, as you referenced earlier, his strains are, I think, benefiting him and Bridges the most on the perimeter with JB out. And I said it last post game, I'll say again, it is going to be on Jalen Brunson to adjust to this team upon his return and not the other way around. There's a team right now is playing winning basketball. They're playing championship level basketball on both ends. Jay and I were talking about before the show started that in the last 15 games, which again coincides with Mitch's return, we have been third in the NBA in defensive rating behind the Toronto Raptors and Oklahoma City Thunder because of all the little things that everybody referenced that Mitch Robinson does. Agreed. Him and OG, their dual ability to blow up pick and roll and dribble handoffs really stunts the opposing team's offense and get in any kind of rhythm. And it starts forcing them to go into ISO mode. And when they start going to ISO mode or checking threes, that plays to our advantage. We almost want them because we're starting to really lean in on the good shooters and making other guys take the shots. And I think that's improved our perimeter defense overall, while we've been slowly upticking. And you see it tonight. What they shoot like 12% from three, 15% from three. Last game, almost as bad from the perimeter as well. So I'm loving everything Mitch brings in. His birthday being today, no surprise. As soon as I saw it was his birthday, I was laughing to myself in the car. I just thought about Mitch tried playing games and pranks in the locker room. I got an email saying another one of my poems have been accepted for publication. So I was like, thank you, Mitch, baby. Mitch, I will never forget Mitch's birthday because it happened on the same day that a poem that meant a lot to me, got the opportunity to be published. So shout out, Mitch. I'm so glad you're back. He single-handedly won his 2 playoff series already. Cleveland Cavaliers, Jared Allen said the lights are too bright. That's a direct quote.
Exactly.
That's not a
Mitch
meme.
is too
That's
bright.
not NBA Central. That's a real quote that he said because he bodied them. And then Joel Embiid was probably the best one-on-one defense I've ever seen played on Joel Embiid in the playoffs. And Joel Embiid had to go dirty and just almost ruined his career in retaliation. So there's no doubt that when we play the Boston Celtics, Mitchell Robinson again will be absolutely crucial in us finally hitting that ECF. And I love that we never trade him. Listen, man, I've been saying never trade Mitch for a reason. I'm with Ebony. He is so crucial to our identity. He is the most Tom Thibodeau player on this roster. You cannot move him unless you're replacing him with an equal rim protector. And why not just keep who you have? As Ebony says too, freeze me.
Yeah. Good. Yeah. Hard to follow that one up, Lee. Jeez. All right. Mitchell Robinson.
We cooking, baby. Let's go.
Mitchell Robinson with 2 blocks, 1 steal today. Having a trend of a big who can do it all, block at the rim and get you steals. And he was like leading the league in steals as a big last year. It seems like he's getting back to that form. One of my favorite plays of this game, and we kind of touched on it, is he blew up a pick and roll. He blew up a lob. It's like, it's not even just he can block shots. Like I feel like his intelligence is underrated because he sees the small coming. He'll stunt to the small like he's about to do something, and then immediately backpedal to blow up the lob. And so now you're looking at a guy with a center who can blow up a play by himself, and things like that is invaluable for a team, especially considering we have Cat here who's not that guy defensively. So to have somebody you can put in place of him in some periods and do things like that is going to be crucial for us and our success. And not only that, like we talked about the defense being better and the rim protection being better. Our 3-point defense has gotten better too. Like we haven't had that thing where it was like, oh man, we're the number 27 3-point defensive team in the league. Like, nah, Mitch has helped that. And let's be real. DeLon Wright, yeah, playing defense too. With Deuce McBride too. Like they all a part of this. So Mitch is just he's amazing. He's put his footprint in this game, and we're gonna need him in the playoffs for real. And DeLon Wright, he is making a case for the Knicks or another team. It's like, hey, I'm an NBA player because he just stepped in as a starting point guard and it has been immediately impactful with 12 points today off the bench and stellar defense as usual.
Yeah, and Jay, I mentioned I was talking to Lee last post game about how it seems like the Knicks really trust Mitch to handle his own now on the perimeter against smaller guards. There's no rush to mismatch. There's no rush to double. They just, okay, you there, handle your business.
Yeah, he got better defending the perimeter.
Exactly. I was saying how I will always give Jericho Sims the best perimeter big title, but I don't know. This is the way Mitch has been playing on that perimeter is very impressive to me.
Nah, I agree.
got a hot take.
I agree.
I got a hot take. Y'all ready?
Let's go.
I think DeLon Wright should replace Cameron Payne.
I knew he was going, yo. Lee.
Are we twinning?
Okay. See, here's the thing. This is the difference between me and Lee. I'm gonna tell you the difference between me and Lee real quick. I will have the thought, and I'd be like, oh, I don't know. Lee will have the thought and be like, I'm saying it. I'm saying this.
You ain't lying, bro.
I'm saying
it gets me in trouble sometimes, but sometimes it makes me look like Nostradamus. I look at what does a team need when Jalen Brunson sits down? You need size, you need playmaking, you need a steady hand, low turnover. You need someone who's gonna make the extra pass, and someone who can hit a shot in a vacuum. Like when the offense collapses, you need a bailout shot. That's that guy. That DeLon Wright checks all the boxes as an efficient, proven playoff contributor. Last time he was in the playoffs with the Miami Heat in 23-24 last season, his averages 8 points. I mean, this is like, I'm not saying that he's a godsend, but this is off the bench. He gave them 8 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists, and a steal. That's almost exactly, if you can mark up statistically what you would need from a backup point guard on Knicks in the playoffs, it's that. Those are his playoff numbers. If we did that from our backup one and Deuce is playing off guard, how do you stop us? I've been saying this all season. I like DeLon Wright's size. He can guard up. He did even guard threes, some of the smaller threes, like a Landry Shamet style three, someone playing that role on another team. I think he did guard Gary Trent Jr. and play really good defense on him. And then you can use Mikal or Hart as someone to guard an even higher level offensive player on the other end. I liked everything he gives you. He doesn't turn the ball over. He's more consistent than Cameron Payne. I've loved Cameron Payne's pick and roll defense. Love this transition defense. He's been one of our steadier guys, him and Shamet, but we need size. And if you're going to have Deuce at the 2, you might as well complement it with having DeLon Wright at the 1.
Things that
Yeah.
make you go, I feel like everybody's gonna take the other side, so I'm gonna shut up.
Yep. You already know it. I have to disagree, guys.
Yeah.
Campaign, and again, y'all don't understand the full circle I've come for with campaign. Like, I remember somebody. I went to the game. I actually went to the game that Mitch got injured. That Embiid pulled him down. I seen that live. I got to watch that live. I would go all the way to Philly to watch Embiid pull my guy out the air. I was frustrated, but we go down there. You can ask the people next to me how much I dislike Cam because I'm talking junk the whole time I'm in Philly while he's there, and he's hitting these shots. He's busting out behinds. He was hitting. So when we talk about playoff performance, that Cam has done that. He's done that against us. Actually, he's hit very big shots against us to make us that series interesting. You talk about turnovers. Cam has not turned the ball over much this year. His assist to rate turnover ratio has been very good. You talk about energy. He always keeps the defense off guard. Again, I said Cam don't know what he's gonna do. So how can the defense know what he's gonna do? You know, it's just that he can play make for you. He can hit the shot. He can go on a heater. I remember that time when he went with 20 something points and then Thibodeau didn't play him until about damn near the fourth quarter afterwards. Like these these are things that happen. So I get DeLon is doing his thing now, but I can't forget the multiple things. And Cam and Deuce have been very good together. It's apart. They've been a little bit iffy. I remember asking, does campaign need Deuce to be good? I remember asking these questions during the season sometimes. So I can't just disregard Cam and what he's done. We got a good problem that DeLon is showing that he's capable. So just listen to the game. If it's not Cam's game, that game, okay. DeLon, what you got? I'm cool with that. I'm cool with that. That's a good problem to have. But I can't disregard what Cam's given us in the energy, especially on the defensive end. He's been good on that end also, really good on that end actually.
Yeah.
So that's what. But I love what DeLon Wright's giving us, and again, another body for us just in case it never hurts.
Yeah.
May I give a rebuttal?
Okay. I can't get away with a good debate. Go ahead.
I actually don't disagree with anything Ebony just said. All of those things are true. I made this comment after thinking about it for the last 2 days, like a lot. I tend to overthink things. And I also thought about what is the 90% likely playoff run. Milwaukee is almost a guaranteed first round matchup, and then Boston after that. Doesn't it make sense to have in a rotation the backup point guard for the team that you're facing in the first round, the guy who knows all of the plays on offense, the defensive teams on defense? Made sense. DeLon Wright came from there, knows the system better than anyone. Also knows the system when Dame Lillard is sitting because he was then on the court running it. So he really knows what the offense looks like without Dame, which is what we're going to see in that first round. That's why I think put him in a rotation. Tibbs is not the kind of guy who, if Payne doesn't have it, he's going to take Payne out and put DeLon Wright in. Once it's locked in, that 9-man rotation, it's locked. There is no adjusting that. Unfortunately, that's just a bad quality of Tibbs that we have to live with. But if that's going to be the quality, we should put the best person in that slot. To me, DeLon not just meets the first round requirement, but the second one. When you have a big Drew Holiday at point and a big Derek White. I mean, he's not super tall, but he's fairly big, strong, and versatile. At the 2, you need someone to match that size. I don't see any scenario where campaign made sense against Boston in the second round. That to me screams DeLon Wright. You need someone to be able to guard the 2 while Deuce is guarding the point of attack, or you switch off because DeLon Wright has been guarding the point of attack to pretty solid ratio so far in the small sample size. So to me, it's a strategy thing. I'm saying put DeLon in right now so he can get even more used to that role, lean to the playoffs, where on paper and matchup wise, he makes more sense to me than campaign.
Well, I was going. I thought everybody's gonna rebuttal again, but since everybody
Oh no.
seems like she's just like whatever. I feel
Yeah,
that,
I
listen,
just
Lee, I'm not gonna
it's a
hold you.
good problem to have. That's all I'll
Yeah,
say.
I've had the
Agreed.
thought. I've definitely had the thought, but like at the same time, I do remember like campaign with the Phoenix Suns, how he went off when he had to be the lead point guard. Even the game that he went down, he was having his best game of the season when he went down, and he was hitting timely shots. I think when it comes defense, both of those guys have defense. I feel like I trust Cam's floater a little bit more. The only thing is, I feel like Cam has been playing better because he has more minutes, and that's just what it is. I'm not sure if he's gonna get the minutes once JB comes back, but overall, I just know you're right. You know, DeLon Wright has done that in the playoffs, but Cam has also done it in the playoffs, and I feel like his energy is like infectious too. I feel like if he makes a couple of good plays in a row, it's gonna like ramp up everybody. So it's like it's a good problem to have for sure. But I feel like I'm leaning towards Cam because of his output. I do feel like your best argument is the size thing when it comes to Boston. Like to me, that's your best argument. To me, where you it makes me pause and go, okay, well, matchup wise, maybe this might work out. But yeah, overall though, I feel like his output and his energy when it comes to big moments, Cam is not afraid, and I feel like he can hit some big shots for us in the playoffs.
If we played the Cavs in the following round, absolutely would have campaign over DeLon Wright. To me, campaign makes more sense starting Darius Starwind and also needing his 3-point output as well over DeLon Wright. So there's opportunities where I see campaign need to be the guy, and Cleveland's a good example of that. I didn't disagree with anything Ebony said. Everything she said was correct. And if they end up going with campaign, I'm not upset about it. It's just kind of a theory I have that I think might work in those first two rounds. But also, I don't like that campaign plays his best basketball if Deuce is there. There might be a situation where Deuce doesn't have it that game. Is campaign going to be able to be paired with Brunson or be paired with Shamet to the same effect? I don't know. But when I've seen DeLon Wright slide right in, it don't matter who's on the court. He still plays a very effective game.
I think it's different too because like the DeLon Wright is there, but DeLon Wright he's playing with starters. He's playing with Mikal Bridges and OG Anunoby. I feel like Deuce is like I feel like he plays well with Deuce because Deuce is also that ball hawk off the bench. But it's like who's more of a ball hawk than freaking OG Anunoby and Mikal Bridges. So I feel like it'll be the same thing. I feel like it'll be the same security blanket, just a different player.
I hope so. Rooting for that.
Mm-hmm. But interesting debate, y'all. Interesting debate, y'all. I mean, whether you team Cam or team DeLon, like Ebony said, good problem to have. Usually, this is one of those things where I just feel like, man, I'm lucky to be part of this because usually what happens for Knicks fans is we'll lose a player and we'll lose another player, and then we'll get to that third string and we're just like, oh Lord, just hold our breath. Frankie Lakina, do your thing. Or you know what I'm saying?
Please.
And we're getting to the bottom of the barrel. The guy that was a throw-in, and he's producing for us. So I'm pretty happy. I'm pretty happy.
Jay, I've said this on multiple podcasts. I think going back like to last year, the back end of the bench on the guard position, Kolek, Wright, and Payne, they're better than 85 and 90% of our starting point guards over the last 25 years. Like for real. The Tony Douglas, the Frank Williams, the Howard Isley, the Chris Duhon, shout out Chris Duhon, most assists in one game.
Wait, Chris Duhon, don't disrespect.
Listen, I'm not disrespecting them, but I think
playing.
these guys are more skilled. I think these three guys are more skilled than Duhon. And I'm not shitting on Duhon, but 95% of his starting guards and it's employed over the last 25 years, that was our black hole. That was no team had a single positional hole like the Knicks did at point. It's what it's been. And I love that we have so much depth now.
Was Chris Duhon on the D'Antoni? Is that
yes.
Yeah. All right, I was like, the assist numbers is crazy. That's the D'Antoni system type thing. Okay, never mind. I went up on the side on a tangent. Shout out to Chris. Shout out to Chris. All right,
Solid dude. Solid dude.
solid.
No disrespect.
Assist, still holding the assist record, Chris Duhon, with I think 21
Yep.
assists. Is it 21 assists? Yeah, 21 or 22 assists in the game. Chris Duhon holds that. Random Nick fact that I know. All right. All right, yo. Shout out to DeLon Wright, who's done well. We talked about Shamet already, right?
Not really.
We haven't talked about Shamet?
I can always talk about it more.
All right, I have a theory on Shamet. It's not even a
Uh-oh.
theory. It's just common sense to me. You know what? I was frustrated with Shamet because I always felt like, he wasn't shooting well, but then I was like, you know what? Maybe he's not shooting well because he's not getting enough minutes. Because some guys are rhythm guys, and you need to play more than 5-6 minutes a game to get into rhythm. He started to get more minutes, and he still wasn't hitting shots. And I was like, well, damn, there goes that theory. And I was about to throw him in the trash. And all of a sudden, he puts up 11 freaking threes today. It's what, 6 of 11? And he's been on his heater lately where he's not even thinking. It's just like run to your spot, quick release, cash money. Run to your spot, quick release, cash money. And this is the type of shooter that we've kind of been missing. Like, seriously. Like, even with I love Deuce McBride is a brilliant shooter. He's a really good shooter. He moves off he relocates well. He shoots threes well. He actually shoots contested threes pretty well. But I think it's the speed in which Shamet runs around screens and pulls up with the quickness. I think that's movement shooter is like a specific type that we haven't really had. McCall has shown that in flashes, but he doesn't do it in high volume.
Devo.
I mean, well, I'm talking about people who are here.
Oh, okay.
We're talking about people who are here, but like when we talked about filling in for Devo and the hole that Devo filled, like that's the hole that we've been kind of missing on this team is that high volume 3-point shooter who can run around a screen at 100 miles per hour, square his feet and shoot it and be on target. And that's what Shamet's been getting us, and he's really done it today. And I thought that his would shorten his rotation during the playoffs like he usually does. Like, you might have to consider, like, hey, man, we don't have the specific weapon here. Maybe we should consider playing Shamet more minutes so we can keep this rhythm so we can have that type of movement 3-point shooter off the bench. 26 points off the bench today. 29 points off the bench today. Bench scoring. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, not for nothing. Sorry, Jay. Not for nothing. That I think that's been for even when we had RJ and I thought that if we had leaned into our team, that we had a pretty deep team. Like when you mean like doing it collectively. I'm not saying everybody's going to be all stars and everything, but just people that could fill in and do their job for a while to get to still rest. I felt we did a good job with that, and even and especially so this team here. I especially think that if we don't have to do it all at once. So I know people always look at Boston, and I mentioned about Boston and they're relying on 3-pointers. But if we can shore up our 3-point percentage, we already better in our defense. We already better in our rebounding. We don't turn the ball over. We don't foul people and put them on the free throw line much. We shoot pretty well. We have a good offense. Now, if we take care of what we can take care of and we play good 3-point defense, not to mention our physicality, because we are a physical team now.
Mm-hmm.
On both ends, we're a physical team, right? What does Boston look like when you're physical with them? That's what I want to say. I want to see that. So people always I can't put Boston on a pedestal. I won't. You have to beat me for me to say, okay, you got it. I can't, because to me, they have never really seen us whole. They've never seen us with whole, and they've never seen this type of, I believe, team. They have like 11, 12 they could run. If Tom Thibodeau really wanted to, he could do the same too. We just mentioned. So we got JB, we got Cat, we got OG, we got Mikal, we got Hart, we got Mitch, we got Shaman, we got Payne, we got McBride, we got Precious, we got DeLon. right? Now, Shamet just gave us 20 today. That's somebody that if his jump shot is on, he can go on a heater. And he showed that if you give it to me, I'm not going to hesitate. I'm going to shoot that thing. OG showing you, like, I got my whole, I could do this. I could be a 2 option. I could be maybe even a 1 option on the team. We don't know. Let me show you what I got. Let me show you what I look like when I got more
Listen,
touches.
if you play with the Pacers still, I'm telling you that would be a different series if he was
Yeah,
anywhere in the
I
Pacers.
say that all the time.
Telling you.
I said I tell you that all the time. But what stands out to me again with this team is that they're keeping one-on-one defense. It's not a lot of having to double team lately. It's not a lot of having to scramble and switch and do this other stuff. So what does look like? What does a game versus Boston look like when they can't drive and kick? When somebody's in front of you, where you can't just get a 3-pointer and rely on it. And then now the paint is really not an option. You get what I'm saying? What does that look like? So I need to see it. I think I like our chances versus everybody when we hold.
Yeah.
And especially if we playing this style of unpredictable basketball where you don't know who that 2A, B, C, D come from.
You know what it is? We haven't seen our team hold. Like that's the thing. Like we're gonna see our team hold during the playoffs. Like that's like a scary thought a little bit because now we have to experiment during the highest level of competition instead of going in with Brunson and McBride and the OG and the like. We haven't seen a healthy OG versus healthy OG and McCall versus Boston. We played Boston last time. OG just came back. He didn't know his left foot from his right foot. It's like we don't know what we have against Boston yet.
Silver lining, as Ebony has reiterated so many times, that Tibbs does play coaches his best ability when he doesn't have all of his pieces. So I like the idea that we're going to go into the playoffs and there's a certain level of uncertainty on what certain things will look like. It's not just going to surprise us, it's going to surprise the opponent's team, and there's no game tape on how to guard us when we have this 9-man rotation that we're eventually going to go into the playoffs with. Knock on wood that everyone stays healthy. But let me jump on my Landry Shamet propaganda bag. Listen, man, I advocated for him to be in the starting lineup, not just because Josh Hart would work so well on the bench. We've seen him work well off of the bench, but because I thought if you looked at Shamet's history, career history with many teams, he's been in the lead for a long time, that you would see somebody that would eventually regress back to the mean of his career. This season so far, he's averaging a significantly the lowest amount of minutes per game, the lowest amounts of field goals per game, and the lowest amounts of 3-point attempts per game. Yet he is still shooting a career high in 2-point attempts, 61% on twos. Threes, it's actually his lowest career shooting numbers at 35%. Why? Because typically when he shoots, let's say 40%, he was shooting 5 attempts a game. When he was shooting 38%, he was shooting 5.6 attempts a game. So if you just think about it in terms of a numerical value, if his shot increases go up, as will his percentages. Now we are seeing that because of Tibbs finally committing to increasing his role on offense, getting his usage rate back to where it's been for his entire career. It's probably fairly certain to say that he's going to give you somewhere between 6 to 7 or 8 points a game in the playoffs and shoot somewhere around his regular season career average of 38%. In the playoffs, he's giving you about 36% from three, for 3-point line, which off the bench with maybe making 2 a game, that's not a bad percentage in the role that we need him for. But I like his play with Mitch, that level of defense guarding the pick and roll. It's the opposite of what Brunson and KAT gives you. So there's a lot of mix and match possibilities, and I like that Shamet can play with anyone. We've seen him with Kolek get his stride back, and with it's DeLon Wright. These guys are hitting him in the pocket. They're hitting him off movement, in stride, right coming off a screen, catching it and putting it up. As JL has said, he's shooting with a lot of confidence, and his release is really fast. That's playoff basketball. We are currently right now, the way we're scoring, we're not scoring with really complicated sets where a defense can watch that tape and say, this is how we're going to guard it. We're scoring because we're starting to gain a lot of confidence in our players and momentum and cohesion with the guys that are currently a part of their rotation. They know each other and they're playing with physicality. That's going to translate to the playoffs. OG style of play will absolutely translate to the playoffs. He's not depending on a low percentage, hard fadeaway mid range. He's getting to the hoop and drawing fouls. Same thing with Mikal Bridges. Same thing with Shamet. I like the pieces we have because they all have playoff experience, and almost everyone in this current rotation has a career playing better in the postseason than the regular season.
Facts.
Good points.
Yeah.
Good points. Can't talk about this game. We'll talk about the one point guard who's coming off the bench, and Tyler Kolek. He didn't play, he didn't have the Dylan Wright minutes, but he still gave you 20 minutes a game. He had another 5 assists today. Actually, interestingly enough, I liked some of his defensive stances. Although he got fouls called on him, I felt like those foul calls could have gone either way. I feel like those are reputation foul calls, meaning he's not known as a defender, so we're not going to give you that type of call. You know what I'm saying? Because I felt like there's a few times where it's 1-on-1, he stripped people cleanly. Used his smarts, whether laid off, used his hands to swipe it off, laid off, swipe the ball away to prevent a dunk. I feel like he's just finding ways to be effective defensively on that end, and he's passing the ball like he's always has been passing the ball and giving the people who making big shots in big moments. So I thought he had a pretty decent game, Tyler Kolek today.
Yeah, I've been getting on his defense, but again, I can see when somebody is trying and learning. He's learning. You see, he's not just giving up or saying, "Oh no, I'm a bad defender." He's trying to believe that he can make some stops. So you see a little bit more confidence in his defensive ability for himself. Just that 1-on-1, when somebody tried to take him and he swiped the ball off of them and got the turnover. I believe they didn't call a foul on one of them or so.
Right.
That in the beginning of the season would have been an easy lay. So you can see the growth, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
And he will be a part of this team. He's going to be a piece, definitely. Might not be this year in the playoffs. It might not. It might just, you never know. Like I said, you never know how things go. But I see him, Pacome, and McCullough being key for us next year.
Hot Porty.
Hot Porty too.
I feel I have two very polar opposing opinions on Kolek. On the one hand, I do not believe in any regard he should be a part of the rotation currently in the regular season or the playoffs. I think what we need with this current iteration, this current squad, DeLon Wright and Cameron Payne fill that role better than Tyler Kolek. We already give up too much defensively, and Brunson's been playing his ass off. Brunson's playing the best defense of his career before he went down, and he gives you the taking the charges and playing in the passing lanes. I love all that. He tries hard on defense, even though sometimes he gets cooked. We don't need another minus on defense at the point guard position, especially because they don't start hunting him, especially in pick and roll. I don't want us to lose a game or someone comes back because the Tyler Kolek minutes on the floor, we end up getting killed with them going after him one-on-one scenarios. But, and I told Jay this before the show started too, if Tyler Kolek was on Portland, if he was on Orlando, if he was on Toronto, any team that's like kind of like middling, maybe they're in the play-in, maybe they're in the lottery, I think he would be a first-team all-rookie. He has very few rookies come in the second round with an elite skill, whether it be rebounding rate, rim protection, playmaking. Kolek is one of the best playmaking rookies I've ever seen. To me, I would say there's not much of a difference between his playmaking ability and Isaiah Collier for Utah Jazz, who's coming up and becoming a solid playmaker in his own right. He has a veteran's mindset when it comes to getting guys involved. He apparently is watching a lot of tape because he's hitting guys right in their sweet spot on the perimeter, specifically Mikal Bridges and Landry Shamet. This guy has high IQ. I think eventually he will carve out at least an effort identity on the defensive end, where next year he'll be in the rotation. 2 years from now, I think he'll be super key to what we do on both ends of the ball. But right now, I would not have him in any way, shape, or form involved in the rotation when we're fully healthy. But I do think if he was on a lottery team or a play-in team, he would be one of the most talked about rookies in the entire NBA.
Thanks.
I agree.
I agree with that. Yeah.
I agree. And I feel like don't say that on Twitter because you'll get roasted. But here you can say that. And I agree.
Safe place.
It's a safe place. We tell the truth here. He doesn't have the defense to play in playoff minutes yet. He just doesn't.
Yeah.
But yeah, he'll be
But
good for us down the line in the future for sure.
Man, I'm grateful.
All right, yo, salute to the chat, man. Shout out to you guys who rock with the KOT show. Hope you're enjoying the show so far. Shout out to you guys on TikTok land. Also shout out to you guys on YouTube who are enjoying the show. Shout out to Pix 718 Fresh, who's been chatting it up. I see you. Nick Yak. Shout out to who else is in here? We surveyed 100 people. Felicia Lee. Everybody else is rocking with the show. Alexander, I see you. Phil, shout out to Phil. Shout out to
Phil, Craig Ward, my guy.
Yeah, Craig Ward. Craig Ward was killing people in the chat with the jokes earlier. There was one. He said something hilarious before. I found it. Here we go. Craig. I just had to read it. It was too funny. Craig Ward said Precious played like he ate a Thanksgiving dinner before the game because he wasn't hungry enough.
Man,
damn,
man, those hands. He had a few really bozo moments, botching plays, botching the catch and gather for an easy layup at the rim. Man, I love Precious, and I've been a huge part of Precious High, but I think we need that position upgrade over the summer. I think we still win it with him in the rotation, or maybe tangentially 0.5, 8.5, 9.5 rotation. But damn it, man, he's got some boneheaded plays. Still gives you 9 boards off the bench and played decent rim protection against a pretty bad team right now, this roster. But yeah, man.
Yeah. I was giving him props like 2 games ago too. Oh, sorry, go ahead, Ebony.
I know, man.
Right hand. That's why I'm kind of up and down with giving Precious props, because he'll do something good a game, maybe even 2. But what about the game 3 and 4
yeah.
and 5 and 6?
Yeah.
Those are the games that you like. Okay, what happened, Precious? This is a totally different guy than the before. That's I try not to get to, because he from New York. He gives you hustle. He wants to be here. Like, I get it, but it's very inconsistent. And right hand, please. Right hand.
I feel you.
Right
hand. All right.
But I did.
Oh,
I'm sorry. I wanted to say something to the chat real quick, because I had seen some comments.
Go ahead.
2 comments from 718 Fresh. He was talking about we don't have many post players, which is true. JB might be our best post player. But one I think I seen with OG is he's been pretty efficient in that area when we allow him to be a post player. I like OG in the post, actually. OG gave us a couple drop steps, dunks, and things of that nature.
Mm-hmm.
What you about to say, Jay?
Oh, and he's been driving a lot too. I also saw a stat. I think Tommy Beer said that Knicks have been like leading the league in drives in this stretch, and OG has a lot to do with it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And another thing is 718 Fresh talking about post plays again, about how Boston has all the post plays, is why they can make it difficult for us. But I looked it up, and Boston number 30 in points in the paint. So again, they're extremely reliant on that 3-point shot. Number 30th in points in the paint. Yeah, I think we got a chance. We got a chance.
Yeah. I feel you on that. I feel like we need to hit threes, but also feel like we need to get them in foul. We need to like attack them, get them in foul trouble. I think that's what we're gonna have to do. But that's just me. Some news though. Some news. If you didn't know, now you know. PJ Tucker signs a 2-year deal. That's right. You heard me correctly. 2-year deal with the Knicks after, signing a couple of 10-day contracts and another Leon Rose special. Like, when I heard 2 years, I was like, wait, a guy who hasn't played getting a 2-year deal? Interesting. Apparently he's made a really big difference off the bench. He's been a guy who's been kind of just telling it how it is, having those uncomfortable conversations and being a leader on the bench, kind of like another coach. But yeah, we gave him a 2-year deal. Will he ever play a minute? I don't think he will. This seems like one of those things where, hey, if we need to trade somebody, we have a guy who can be cap filler in PJ. So PJ Tucker. So that's what it's looking like to me. But congratulations, PJ Tucker, and welcome to the New York Knicks.
Fritz said the second year is optional. So
Team
that's a
option or
good
player
sign.
option?
He didn't say that one.
It's gotta be team.
I would think team.
Yeah, it has to be team. But I don't know. I guess he's a great teammate. He just showed how great of a teammate he is.
Team option.
The team. They said that in his other stops that he can control the locker room. You know, the person that says the right things most of the time, and people take it as, okay, I gotta get my stuff together rather than let me punch him in the face type vibes. So he's a good organizer, I guess, of people, and they want to keep him for that. Hey, everybody, I guess needs the Udonis Haslams,
Mm-hmm.
the James
Yeah.
Johnson. You,
Yeah.
you you need those type of players. I get it. I didn't think, especially with the injuries that we had, that might have been the route. But also when you think about the current CBA, maybe the money just to be throwing in trades. Who knows? Enough to help get a move made that you needed. This front office always shows us that they're two steps ahead. They're playing chess and not checkers type vibes. So I'm going to rock out until it show me that why.
Mm-hmm.
Until I gotta say why. But
Shit.
I trust in the front office.
Jay, you remember my monologue when we were making that
Sure
decision
did.
about why I thought PJ Tucker was the right move, and all the intel that reporters like Ian are telling us supports that. My only qualm with him is that he was buddy with Draymond Green, when I think at the very least, I don't think he should have punched Draymond Green in the face. I just don't think he should have interacted with him after that specific situation. He should have been the one that set the tone. Like, all right, guys, like shake everyone's hand but that dude, and let's go back to the locker room.
I agree.
And I was disappointed in the way that he handled that, because I was advocating for him to be the opposite of that. And I think he failed in that regard. But it seems like maybe, you don't know, we don't know, the OG Renaissance, maybe he's in his ear, right? Maybe it's Shamet getting his confidence, maybe he's in his ear. Maybe DeLon Wright coming in and balling, maybe he's in his ear. You never know, right? So that could be part of it. If we are depending on the 15th man in the playoffs, we're cooked. So I've heard arguments that, oh, it should be TJ Warren, Chuma Akiti, whoever. If we're depending on one of those two guys or PJ Tucker in the playoffs, we're cooked. This is Game 7 Indiana last year. We might as well pack it in. God bless your heart for playing so hard, but you ain't winning this damn game or the series. So might as well have a locker room dude who gets in guys' ears and holds them accountable in that private space than have someone you're depending on to fill the role of OG or Mikal Bridges, which is absurd.
Heard you. I feel you. Do you feel like Precious Achiuwa is pissed that the Knicks made him waive his player option? And they signed PJ Tucker to a 2-year deal, and he doesn't even have to play. I don't know. I'm causing problems.
I think both will be traded or let go this summer, personally.
I think PJ might have a better chance of being here than Precious. That's just
I agree with that. I agree.
I mean,
I
he costs a lot of
agree
money.
with that too. I agree with that too.
He costs a lot
I
of
agree.
money. All right.
I certainly think that Precious should and will be upgraded this summer.
Yeah,
for sure.
For sure.
It could be hot 40. Freeze me.
It might be that Watson kid. I'm telling you, you never know. This front office, they always keep somebody in the cut. You never know. I don't
That's
know.
true.
They always keep somebody in the cut.
Word.
Somebody that they could give a lesser contract to and play a bigger role.
Yeah, I kind of like McCullough's one shot that he took in garbage time. I was looking at him, I'm like, the miss he made was impressive to me. And he's been averaging triple doubles in the G League, but how aggressive he was and the move he went to the basket was strong. I was like, he looked like a bucket. He looked like he could be a problem. Given some time.
Yeah. I'm excited to see. I'm not looking past this year. I know everybody was like, next year we really got a chance. I'm not looking past this year. I think we got a chance this year. I think if all our pieces are together, that we could compete with anybody. Like it's just we do a lot of things well. We do a lot of the things that that you need to do well to be a championship type team. We do those well. We just got to get back on defense and get like lock down that 3-point shot type vibes. Like we're getting better with that. Still, sometimes we'll be like, oh, here we go again. But other than that, we're working on that. We just got to get that together. It's just like, how can you beat us? We're getting better with the points in the point paint. Again, mentioning about the free throws, the turnovers. We don't foul folk much. We don't depend on the free throw much and still win. Our offense is not dependent on getting on the free throw line.
I,
Yep.
I feel. I mean, listen, man. My brain says we're gonna need another year, especially because I just feel like we need more time for the pieces to gel. Like we getting Jalen Brunson back. Hopefully he's back for a few more games. But even like Deuce McBride, like that's like a main piece for us. And he sat out a few games. Hopefully he's back as well. We haven't heard anything about Deuce McBride, which is kind of alarming. We haven't heard an update or even a timetable. It seems really suspicious. Really sweeping things under the rug.
Coaches start playing all the games during these times. You already know. You know that. It's probably Mitch not playing tomorrow. Why would we let you see us with Mitch? Things like that. Things like that. You got to play the end of the season games because you never know who you're gonna end up playing at the end. In the playoffs.
Okay. I hope you're right. I want to see Mitch. I want to see dudes back soon. I need him in rhythm.
Yeah, I do too. But I know they like to play the games. They do.
I just had one of my tweets hit 300 likes
Okay.
today, and the tweet is: if the New York Knicks beat the Boston Celtics in the second round, we will win the championship. I truly believe that. I just said that because I thought it was true. I wasn't trying to get to the 300 like tweet. I just thought if we beat the Boston Celtics, the likelihood of us facing another NBA champion is very low. Only if maybe the Lakers and LeBron sneak in, or the Denver Nuggets. I think it's going to be OKC, man. OKC seems like the betting favorite, the odds favorite to make it out the West in the finals. And then we would play with Cleveland Cavaliers in the conference finals. Two teams that have not won a championship. I am most worried with the Celtics. To me, the Celtics are a step above everybody, including OKC. They have a championship culture. They know how to win, and their best player can go 1 for 19, and they still win the game. That is unbelievable. It's hard to beat that. So if we beat that in the second round, that level of confidence and motivation, I don't think we lose it. I think we win the whole thing, personally.
Huh?
Go
ahead.
That's all right. I'm about to say, yeah, I think we got a chance. I'm gonna keep saying it because I do. I believe this team I've never seen, especially as a Knick fan and a Knick team, structured like this with the type of defenders we have. We're always going to have a chance. We're going to make it ugly, especially if the game is slowed down.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be ugly if you have to get all your points in the half court offense against us.
That's a great point. And if you look at all of the XY graphs, all of those metrics, the Knicks are always at the top of the NBA in hitting tough shots consistently. Like the difficulty of shot is always very high, but no one makes it at a better rate or ratio than the New York Knicks. I noticed for both 3-point shots and at the rim and in the mid range. Those are the type of shots that translate to the playoffs. When you're seeing the same team 7 games that knows everything about you by game 3, you have to hit really difficult shots. The Knicks are primed to do that, which is why I think this whole team, everyone, will play better in the postseason, including Tom Thibodeau.
Hope so. I can't wait to see. All right, yo. Now it's time for our favorite part of the show, the Ooh and Bruh picks. Ooh picks are usually the best plays of the game or something that we liked around the NBA that we just want to point out, say this is dope. And Bruh picks are usually Bruh picks are usually something stupid, dumb, idiotic that you want to point out and say it's stupid, dumb, or idiotic. It could be a play. I'm sorry about that, guys. It could be a play. It can be a comment. It could be anything. So let's get to it. You guys have any Ooh picks or Bro picks that you want to point
I have one Ooh pick and one Bruh pick.
What's that?
My Ooh pick definitely goes to Dexter Henry for having that all the ladies for the Women's Month. I appreciate him again for sharing his platform with me and a lot of other ladies. And Nick Land. That was super dope. Appreciate a dope dude, and always a pleasure to talk sports with. So again, thank you for sharing your platform with us.
Right. Dexter's gonna be joining us for the Knicks Pistons game. So
Oh hell yeah.
be aware of that. Okay.
Can't wait. And my bruh pick will be Stephen A. Smith and whoever, I can't remember who else he was talking to when they were talking about Kim Mulkey, the LSU women's coach, calling her rude and all kinds of other stuff. Everything but talking about her coaching style. And made sure to throw in that she's a great coach, to like they were talking about sports. But at this point, it's just like it took people pulling teeth basically for you to cover women's basketball. Like it took people to be ultra hot for you to even mention it now. And then to do it in this loving basketball reality TV scheme is terrible. It's disrespectful. And then sprinkling in, she's a great coach. Does not make it sports. I see. It looks like I'm not even gonna say a bunch of girls because I wouldn't do that to us. It just looks like a bunch of little kids gossiping around a water cooler. I miss the days of sports talk. Sports talk.
All right.
Like, and you can't, and you can't drama this, drama this. I hear that a lot. Emotional. I hear that a lot as a me being a woman, especially in talking sports in a predominantly male area. You admit, oh y'all get emotional. You emotional. You hear that a lot, even though I'm not the one being emotional. You hear it constantly, but I see a lot of emotional in these sports talk. It's just like a bunch of egos. I hear lady mean to me, lady bad. That's what I heard during that conversation. Like, grow up, let the egos go. Women have opinions too. Women stand up. We're different. Some people express themselves more different than others. I didn't hear you saying this about UConn's coach. I don't hear you saying these things about the other coaches that are very no filter like. But as soon as it's a woman, I guess is woman bad. So yeah, get it to Stephen A. I used to watch. I did used to watch a lot. But you know how you say what's the saying? You live long enough to be a villain. I think this is the part for him. This is
Oh,
villain
Stephen A.
arc.
been a villain.
Yeah, I know it's been a villain arc. I try to be nice, but it's been a villain arc. He's been there for a
He's
minute,
been a villain
and
for a minute.
yeah. Like just go back to basketball, please. I mean, sports in general.
I mean,
I miss
that's
those
the
days.
problem with Stephen A. in general is it's become less about sports and more about gimmicks. I mean, and that's I kind of feel like that's why like a lot of YouTube type of fan made shows are thriving because they're more about sports. I mean, yes, we do talk about the drama and all that stuff about that too. Like we'll talk about that too, but it's like the ratio isn't drama sports. It's like sports drama.
Like nobody's going out their way to say anything ridiculous to get a clip.
Yeah.
Like that's that's not what it is. It's just we really trying to give our honest analysis of what we see and what we would like to see on our team. I'm no narratives. That's what again I love coming here. It's therapy session for me.
Yeah.
Because sometimes y'all see a lot of things that y'all may see something that I didn't see or look at it differently, and I'd be like, you know what? I ain't look at it like that.
Yeah. I feel you. All right. Lee got any picks, bro? Picks?
Got two picks. One of them, even though Women's History Month was last month. I mean, I think this show is a show that celebrates all identities every month, no matter who you are or where you're from. I mean, I'm on the show, so obviously this is a celebration. I'm celebrating myself, but I did want to celebrate Women's History Month by just shouting out Ebony one more time, as I try to do so many times during the course of the year. The only other person who's taught me more about basketball than Ebony is Hubie Brown and Jay. So like that's to me, that's my Mount Rushmore of people who have challenged my takes. Like if I say something and it's incorrect, They don't challenge it, and now I have to defend my take. That level of pressure, as someone who never played the game, has only sharpened my skill set being on this show. I'm not afraid to talk ball with anybody else after going on here for an hour and 20 minutes and having to have my takes put through the grinder. And, I see as I get on, I'm starting to see myself when I watch playback the videos that I'm better, and I'm better because of you two. This one's about Ebony, though. Ebony's brought, I think, a level of X and O's basketball talk that has only enhanced this show. JL is always allowed for our personalities. I talked about things that we liked. Ebony really made a point to talk about the defensive side. What are we seeing? What does it look like? Where is it going? How good are we executing? I've loved that because that was a weakness of mine, and it caused me to have to be better. Watch tape, read definitions, go into glossary terms, and figure out what hedge and recover means, and then watch hedge and recover in an NBA game. Not just the Knicks, but all teams. So now I'm able to recognize it when I see it on the court. I appreciate so much of you, Ebby. You know more about ball. I don't see it as man and woman gender. You know more about ball than 80% of the people that I know, and 95% of people on Twitter. There are very few women who can talk about ball at a really high level. You are one of them. And there's not a whole lot of men that can too either. But I love talking to you because you see the game very differently than me, even though we can tend to also agree on a lot of things concerning our Knicks. The game of basketball, you really bring that firsthand perspective. And your son is very blessed to learn the game from you, someone who's be able to break it down in such a easy to understand way. Takes a certain level of intelligence that you have. So I just want to give you your flowers and say I appreciate you being on this show, because I think you made all of us have to be on our game better.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate you. You try to make me all emotional.
No.
Nah, I tell you, I tell y'all that all the time that I love coming on here talking. It's a therapy session for me. Basketball is just a game. I love it. I try to make people see the smaller things of the game that make it, the game. What reasons I love it. Defense makes it competitive. I just try to help people see that.
Yeah. That's a fact, yo. Yeah. I always thought, man, listen. I thought it was always important to have like a woman's voice on the show. Shout out to people who's here from like the SoundCloud days when we had Kathy on. I felt like we were like the first show to actually have a woman represented on here. Wasn't the first show to blow up and everybody know it, but also shout out to Glamour. Glamour knows what I was trying to do back in the day. Glamour knows what I was trying to do. Shout out to Glamour. But happy Women's History Month, and that's just passed. And thank you, Ebony, for helping making this show great and giving us another voice. And yeah, I saw you doing your thing, and I was like, yeah, we gotta have Ebony on this damn show, yo.
I appreciated it. One of the best things I did was come join the show. I thank you for the invite. Always, seriously.
Mm-hmm. That's a fact. Glamour was back when Glamour, you was around when I was doing that show on Instagram.
Shout out to
was
Glamour.
around when I was doing shows on Instagram. Crazy.
Glamour's the OG.
Appreciate the chat, the chat too. Appreciate all the love, definitely.
That's a fact. Yeah, I got ooh picks.
You got ooh picks. What's the ooh pick?
First ooh pick. All right. Oh, Mitchell freaking Robinson, man. Mitchell freaking Robinson is a 7-foot monster who did a Euro step during the game and dunked the ball. Ooh. Give that man a ooh.
Never trade Mitch.
7-foot Euro step. 7 foot. He like Euro step continents. Like he's so big. Okay. Second ooh pick. One of the nastiest dunks I've seen all season. The best OG dunk I've ever seen in his entire career.
Nasty.
He once again, borrowing from Jalen Brunson's playbook, starts off the move on a fast break with the swipe through, 2 steps, jumps in the air, didn't look like he was about to get enough lift on that ball to dunk it, off the ground to dunk it. Somehow his body like leans backward, like he's about falling away, and it looked like the only way he could not get hurt is if he dunked the ball and had something to grab onto. And what that made for was one of the best dunks in OG's career, or the best dunk in OG's career, and a freaking ooh pick. Highlight. OG.
I didn't expect him to dunk that.
I watched that thing like 6 times. I couldn't believe it every time. I just saw you do it, and I'm rewatching it, and I still can't believe you made that. That's crazy. That was crazy. Yeah, that's my blue pick. Shout out to the 40 people in the chat. There was 48 people in here chat. If you're new to the show, hit that like and subscribe. We have every game talking Knicks basketball. We'll be here. We will be here tomorrow talking Knicks Cavs. So let's go. See you tomorrow, man. See you tomorrow.
Can't wait for that one.
All right, yo. That's a show, yo. Thank you guys for watching. Lee, let them know they can find you, sir.
On Twitter @_Lee Escobedo, LEEESCOBEDO, or just Google my name and you'll see a lot of my recent articles popping up, writing about all kinds of different things: food, travel, NBA, culture. But as I said earlier in the show, the thing I want to be known most for is my poetry and my playwriting. Those are the things that are most important to me. And this is the first year of 2025 I've gone on a limb and swallow my pride and my fear and my arrogance and put my work out there into the world to try to publish. And today I had this is now my 5th poem in almost a month and a half that I've gotten published in a Paris journal, no less. There would be both an English and a French translation, which is very cool. It's a prestigious art publication, and they liked my work. So I have a poem that I'm going to go ahead and read very quickly because I love sharing my work with the audience. I especially love sharing it with my KOT family as well. This one's called Trigger Warning. All of these poems are about my relationship with my mother and my father sometimes as well. This one's about my dad teaching me how to shoot a gun, a BB gun, right after my parents got divorced and my mom left. Trigger warning. Don't squeeze too tight, he says to me. 2 seconds too late. The BB knifing through the egg, yellow blood stain the dirt. It's the first time he remembers something so perfectly white, so pure, being destroyed. It was his father's idea, using eggs, a reminder of mom in different ways. She would have never let this happen, not under her watch, but that's the point. It's just us boys now. Dad says, holding my hand, fingers curling around mine. Together we squeeze the trigger, shattering another shell. More blood. This is yours, he whispers, soft, almost tender, if you treat it right. I can't remember him ever being this soft, so gentle about a gun. I am all he has left, after mom who squeezed too tight, and she fired back, flooring him with recoil. Trigger warning. Appreciate y'all.
All right, shout out to right now, eggs is $10 a egg. You wouldn't shoot an egg today.
This is the most expensive my groceries have been in the last 5 years today when I went shopping.
Yeah.
It's
Outrageous.
crazy out there.
Yeah. Somebody asked if I have a bro pick. I was trying not to bring the mood down.
Oh, I had a bro
so
pick.
hard not to bring the mood down. Yo,
Stephen A was my bro pick.
Oh yeah.
Remember I had one.
Yeah, she had one.
Well, go ahead. Who's your bro pick?
Bruh.
Who's your bro pick? Go ahead.
Freaking Donald Trump, man.
It's your channel, man. It's your channel. Talk your talk,
I was
man.
trying not to bring the mood down, man. No, yo.
He said, I'm trying not to, but he forcing me to.
Yo, okay. Yo, I used to work for the Department of Health. I had a million jobs before I got the job. I used to work for the Department of Health. They're laying off like 10,000 workers. So I'm like, I read that today, and I'm actually like fearful for people I know that like I might have to contact to see if they're okay or if they still have a job. So so it's like, damn, it's just
Tough times.
It's just a tough time. It's just a tough time. And it's like, not only that, it's just like the Department of Health keep a lot of people healthy. they check food. They make sure people are up to regulation with their food, and they make sure diseases are kept at bay. To get rid of that many people in the Department of Health is responsible. It's like you're not only putting a lot of people out of work, but you putting Americans' health at risk.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was trying. My bad. Okay.
Nah, I understand that just like your whole thing about your government is supposed to at least bare minimum trust them to vet your food and your health care. That
Yeah.
that's bare minimum. I get it. I
Yeah.
understand.
Imagine going to a restaurant and they don't have to answer to anybody about how clean they are. They can just not clean and no one will know. Because that's what's been happening for the last, what, how many years? And no Department of Health, restaurants can do whatever the hell they want to. So it's like,
It's
this
so
administration
we
is
have to
crazy.
worry. It's so we have to worry. We fight amongst ourselves. We fight against each other, and then they're in their office and passing whatever they want to because we're too busy fighting on this level, fighting each other. Things that
Yeah.
won't make a difference.
Yeah. But yeah. That's my bro pick.
That's a great one.
Man, I did. By my lip, I really don't want to go off. I've been trying not to go off on too many political shit, man, because I know it pisses people off in the chat and pisses Stanley and our homies off. But man, I'm just gonna say something real quick. There will always be poor people. That's biblical. Like the poor will always exist. You can't fix that. But the lifeline of America is not the poor or the rich, it's the working class. It's the middle class. It's us. People in the chat, I'm guessing, you, me, Ebony, Ryan, Fritz, Phil, other content creators, people who are both work a full-time job and try to do something that's a passion project that doesn't bring a whole lot of income, but helps communities feel like they have a voice to be heard. And when those people are suffering, when those people are the most fearful, when those people have the most anxiety, you're not doing shit right. I don't care if you're left or right. Right now it's Donald Trump and his administration with MAGA, and the country has never been this much on edge. And it's not edge of like, oh, is like this identity politic or this thing don't go away. There's some of that, but it's also, can I go to a grocery store with $100 and feed my family? The answer is probably no, because I bought groceries for myself for a week and it was $30 higher than it was 3 months ago, and I've been tracking since 2022. This is most expensive my groceries have ever been. These are working class people. These are families, mothers, fathers, single fathers, aunts, uncles, grandparents taking care of kids, or just a single person like me trying to take care of a dog and two cats. It is hard out here. And when it's hard out here for us, the working class, that is a direct sign that your administration is not working. It is failing because you're not protecting the people that need it the most, which is the backbone, the middle class. So
Yeah.
I'm rooting for Trump to be successful because if he's successful, America's successful, and we're successful. But I'm not seeing it, man. I have no doubt in my mind. He's like Tibbs, just as stubborn. He's going to do his thing. He ain't going to freestyle. It's his way or the highway. And it's tough to live in this country when I see the people who are working their ass off, 2, 3 jobs, still struggling. Come on, bro. How can we say we're the greatest when that's across America? How can we say we're the greatest?
Yeah. It's crazy out here. It's crazy out here. It really is. Look, people don't realize, like, I've been like spending the last like few years of my life just trying to educate myself on how to be better financially, to like wiggle around things like this. But it's like I feel like it's more important for everybody in general to like be more aware of how to manage finances, because it's getting rough out here. It's getting rough out here. Even if you still have to struggle now, and you will make it out of the 4-year term, whatever, like coming out of that stronger and knowing how to move is still going to be beneficial for you in the long run. Even if you start learning today, you might not see the fruits of your labor tomorrow, but maybe like, you'll start the groundwork to be better for you and your families. You know what I'm saying?
And y'all know me. Y'all know I hate the Republican Party and the Democrat Party. I'll tell you right now, if Donald Trump tries to run for a third term, I'm not only voting Democrat down the entire ticket, I'm going to be leading that damn revolution with the homies. We taking over, man. No BS. That man tries to usurp the Constitution and run for a third term because he's on a power trip. The American people will fight back, no doubt.
Yeah.
Nah, you're not lying. I've seen a lot of people from the Republican side say that. They're waiting for a clear sign of disrespect to democracy for them to show out.
Yeah, that's a fact. That's a yeah. I'm not even. Well, I'm glad you're on that time, because, yeah, it's been weird. All right, yo, that's the show. Thank you guys for watching. y'all have been entertaining so far because I could see the average view duration is really high. So thank you guys for rocking with us and staying tuned with the conversation, whether we talk
I'm
about
sorry, Stanley. I'm sorry I went
basketball,
off, bro.
politics.
I love you, Stanley. My
We
bad,
love you,
man.
Stanley, but man, we gotta give stuff out a chance.
We
I
got to,
almost let
man.
it go until somebody said, almost let it go. All right, that's the show. Thank you guys for watching. Ebony, let them know where they can find you, man. I mean, woman. I'm sorry. You're not a woman.
You gotta find me unmuted first, but you can find me. You can find me here after every Nick game. Find me on Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, TikTok at Mad Nick Fan. On Twitter, I do a pregame space before every Nick game called Your Take Knicks, and for the WNBA season and Unrivaled, which is over now, but for the WNBA season, I do um Bowling with the Queens, talking women's basketball.
All right. Well, you can find us at let's see. You can find us at the KOT Show on Twitter, the Nick of Time Show on Instagram, and the Nick of Time Show on Facebook as well. And you know what? I'm gonna do something. Hold on, real quick. Free game. This is real easy free game. Easy free game for you for people. People who have money in bank accounts and savings accounts do not use a regular savings accounts. It's high yield savings accounts that can give you 3.7%, 4% on your money. It takes nothing to open. You can literally open it in 5 minutes. Take your money from your savings account, put it in that. And instead of getting 1 cent after the year, you can make $4 or $5 or more in a month just by doing that one thing. Super free game. I'm putting the link in the chat right now. High yield savings account. I'm trying to put the link in the chat. It won't let me. But just go to American Express.
Let us be great.
I'm trying to put the link in the account, and it's not letting me be great. I'm trying to put the people on. But it's something real simple that anybody can do that will have just a little bit of extra. High yield savings accounts. All right. American Express. High yield savings accounts. Just Google that. Internet banking. Don't even have to go into the bank. All right. That's the show.
Thanks, Jay. Thank you, Jay.
Yeah, no problem, man. No problem. That's the show. Thank you guys for watching. And as always,
shout out to Worldwide West. Everywhere we go, we leave a worldwide mess.
It's a mess out here in these Knicks YouTube streets. That's the show. We out this mug. Peace.
York, New York, big city of dreams. New York, big city of dreams.
NYC.